Hello everyone, this is Richard G, and today I'll be showing you how to defeat Giovanni's Gym in the Gym Challenges of Pokemon Tower Defense 2. This is the final gym, and it is probably the one to really prepare for the absolute most. You are given 7 Pokemon to choose from, but you may only use 6. Here are the 6 that I use and work best for me. So we're going to go with Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Butterfree, Gengar, and Skarmory. And here are the moves and abilities you will want on these 6. So for Charizard, we're going to start with Blaze and start with Scary Face. We do not need to relearn anything. For Blastoise, we're going to keep the Torrent ability, and we are going to relearn Skull Bash. Skull Bash is going to be taken over Withdraw, so that we can still gain defense, but just get some damage with it too. Next up is Venusaur. We are going to be relearning Growth. With Growth in there, we will be able to stat boost. I'll take over Vine Whip, and then we'll keep the Overgrow ability, and that is Venusaur. Next up is Butterfree. We will keep the Compound Eyes ability, and we'll be relearning 2 moves. First up is Psybeam. This will take over Confusion for extra damage and added Confusion effect as well. And Silverwind here will be able to stat boost us, and we'll take that over Stun Spore. And that is Butterfree. And we will be starting out with Tailwind on that one, by the way. And for Blastoise, start with Skull Bash. Next up is Gengar. It will have Levitate ability because it's not up to date since Gen 7. But I wouldn't worry about it because this is a ground gym. This will help out. And this also will be getting 2 new moves through relearning. First up is Curse. So we will take that. And you'll see why I use this later. We'll take over Lick because we're not going to need that. And next up is Confuse Ray. You can either take out Shadow Punch or Payback, doesn't matter. Those moves will not be used. We will be needing that Confuse Ray. And lastly is Skarmory. I'm just going to keep Keen Eye. Ability really doesn't matter on this one. But what helps right now is we're going to relearn Spikes to start out. And we're going to take that over Agility. So just to recap, we have Charizard, Blaze, Scary Face, Blastoise, Torrent, Skull Bash to start, Venusaur, Overgrow, Growth, Butterfree, Compound Eyes, Tailwind, Gengar, Levitate, Shadow Ball, and Skarmory, Keen Eye, Spikes. That is our start. Let's get going. Immediately pause, because Pokemon will quickly come out, and I want to show you how this is going to play out. So, in the middle, starting out, after a few Rhyhorn go through, or just try to go through, we will be having a Nidoqueen. This will be using Poison Sting after a little bit. And then after that happens after a bit, we are going to have Nidoking come in this left side, and it will start using Rock Blast. And then after that, for a little bit, we will be having Rhydon using Horn Drill. So keep those attacks in mind. I will show you how to counter each and every one of those. So, we're going to start with Charizard, Scary Facing, and going for the fastest target on the first row. Blastoise will be going in the second row, top, bottom, doesn't matter. Venusaur will be going in the last row. Butterfree goes in the middle. Gengar goes in the back, and Skarmory goes up front. We are then able to start. Now, once that's started, Tailwind is done. You can start with Silverwind, and after Spikes is done, you can start Steel Wing. And then Blastoise, Venusaur, and Butterfree will be doing their thing. Once Blastoise and Venusaur have their stats at max, you can put Water Pulse and Razor Leaf respectively. Butterfree is going to be all based on luck when it gets its stats up. It could go right away or it could take a while. So be patient with that one. That one's based on luck. Just keep letting it attack stuff and it'll eventually get its stats. And we're just waiting for Nidoqueen to show up. And as soon as it shows up, put Skarmory in the middle. It will completely block all attacks from the Poison Sting. It will take no damage, and that Poison Sting will stop right in place, no matter who Nidoqueen targets. So after that, if Butterfree's struggling, you just put in the first row, and it will be able to attack much more often and get its stats up faster. Now, as you can see, Butterfree is being targeted by the Poison Sting, but you will see it will not do anything. As you can see, even though it's targeting Butterfree, Skarmory is taking the hit and no damage. And now we're going to wait and put Gengar up here and start with a Curse. So that once Nidoking spawns right now, you can let it use and then Confuse Ray and then switch to Shadow Ball. This will allow for a lot of damage, and then after that, in the meantime, we can put Venusaur also in the second row. And if you want, which I'm going to do to try to knock out Nidoking faster, put Blastoise in and start Water Pulsing. More damage. But keep an eye, because it will be using Rock Blast before it goes down. As you can see by that blue line, we're going to move it way out of the way, or at least try to, so that it cannot hit anything, because it's going to explode and go after multiple targets. So we don't want that to happen. We need to get out of the way, so around this area here, but still be careful who it's going for. But we're going to want to move Blastoise, because Blastoise otherwise will get hit. So we'll let that target Butterfree. It'll be firing pretty soon here. Right there. We can put Butterfree in place then, and start Psybeam. Alright, once it hits that tile, it's going to explode. We're going to get Skarmory out of the way, otherwise it's going to get hit. And we are dodging. Get Skarmory back in there quickly. As you can see, that was close. Now we're going to move these two over here. Now Venusaur should be doing a lot of damage. Okay, once that's confused, we move the Psybeaming over to Nidoqueen. This will try to knock that down. And having Gengar here will take all hits from Horn Drill. So Horn Drill will be doing 0 damage. Meanwhile, these three right here are for the perfect defense. If you want to move Venusaur, go right ahead. These two should be able to take him on anyway. This is just to knock down just to knock things down quicker. But keep an eye out just in case. Alright, Rhydon's down. And we can put Venusaur back down there and put Gengar against the Nidoqueen. Once everything's dead, we will be completed. Alright, all that's got to go down now is that Rhyhorn, and bam! That is Giovanni's gym complete. The reward for completing this one are 3 Gibbles holding the Garchomp bite. So that is all the gyms. That is Giovanni.